Margaret Ida, you've planned out the house for the HabLab, right? I mean, isn't that so?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. How many hours did you spend on it doing that all together? How much design work is in a construction, in the workshop plus the living units?
Well, we worked on the workshop, and then we used the same base measurements to do the HabLab, so that we wouldn't have to redesign everything. It's just the same thing done in a smaller scale to cover for people to live in.
Yeah. What would you estimate for the number of hours, though?
That would be hard because I was doing a lot of learning about how to do it while I was doing the designing. I'd been doing drawing before, but this was working on the computer was a little bit more of a challenge.
So
I worked probably on the HabLab designs after we'd worked up the workshop. Maybe 10 or 12 hours I worked on writing them up because there were, you know, I gave you several different copies, ideas with different patterns. So it took me quite a while to work up all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept thinking of all the things we had to put into them because the HabLab, you need to have dorms, but you need to have a kitchen area, and you need to think about how you're locating things in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And you have to have
I heard about a kitchen, yeah.
A bath area too, and where you're going to locate that, and having just vents for those things, so that has to do with where you're putting things.
Yeah.
And I was thinking also about being able to heat in that place too, because we've got to be able to provide something.
Can we do a masonry stove from CEB press, from compressed earth bricks?
I have no idea. That's not something I'm familiar with.
We gotta heat that place.
Yeah.
Let's see. So after the ground is worked with, leveled and a gravel laid, how much time does it take to actual? What would you estimate for the whole process? We're going to have enough time in 2 months? We're pressed for time, right?
We're pressed for time. We are. And the concrete work, you'll have to talk to David about concrete work. He has a lot more knowledge on that than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know how long it takes to build with blocks.
Yeah.
We have only 12 columns to build over there. We have 24 over here on the workshop.
They had one at one time.
So it's like getting people power in to do the building on those block columns.
We said something like 2 people, 1 column per day, something like that. David, what was the?
It was a column per person per day.
Column per person.
2 people, 1 column, 1 day.
2 people, column, 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
24.
it depends on getting people in to work on it, or you're going to counting on a lot of days.
50 man days of time for the columns on the shop, and another 25 for the columns on the workshop, on the HabLab, not to mention all the walls that we're going to have to build up there.
Because
Wow.
we've got to put walls up for the HabLab at least, you know, and then we've got to put the roof up on with the frames already built is not going to take long. But
This building was built with?
the building the block walls and the block columns is going to take some time. It'll take people time, so you need to recruit people.
Well, 50
If you get
man.
50 people here for 2 days, you're going to have everything up.
Wow, 50 human days for the workshop, about 25 human days for the columns on the HabLab. 75. Wow. There's 60 days in a month. So
60 human days in a month.
Yeah.
If you're doing 2 people at a time.
60 days.
yeah, huh. We got to get some numbers here. We need a plan.
Well, we need to recruit some people to.
Okay.
The numbers is something I'm working on.
Okay.
I haven't got settled down.
Okay. All right, Margaret. Thank you.
You bet. I enjoyed it.